Hey guys, welcome back to a new video of Dania. I know I haven't posted Black Mire or Above In for a little bit of while, but as I've said in the previous videos of Dania, guys, that I'm prioritizing this park here over the summer because I really want to finish it, and we're so close. So, just the thing, today's video, guys, I am continuing on the Viking restaurant, the Longhouse, which you saw me build in the first part 1 video here I posted last week or so, I think. I wanted to make some interior. I don't know what it is, but lately I like building interior. So I just felt like, why not just take that focus I have and try to do some nice interior work here as I did on the station. So what I'm doing here today on the Longhouse is that a Longhouse is basically meant for, you know, the great hall-ish, or how you say, like, it's where a lot of the people stand or meet up, and they have this sort of big feast where they celebrate and all that stuff. So that's kind of like what I'm trying to do here. First of all, I'm trying to make it look nice with all the supports and all the poles I have everywhere here. As you can see, I'm using the Quint Dynasty piece, which is such a good piece for this sort of tree engraving. I don't know how the English word are for it, but I hope you know what I mean. So that's basically what I'm doing. Trying to trim it nicely, give it some support, give it some more stuff inside here so it looks way more welcoming. So I'm trying to play some different things here. The first thing I did was try to get the windows, some shutters from the inside. I felt like that was quite neat because you sometimes have shutters on the inside where you just kind of like close off the windows. And I felt like here that it was it fitted quite good. And of course I didn't put it on one there in the middle because I felt like a little bit of variation would do the job here. So that's kind of like what I did. And after visiting Hunter Park and seeing all the interior they had for their stations, it was very inspiring, and it definitely also got me lots of ideas for what I could do with the interior of these sort of builds. I'm almost done with the interior and basically all the stations, sort of. Of course, not the station I need to do at the Legoland area, but other than that, the interior is coming quite good along on every ride there is, or shops. So super happy about that. I also managed to finish off my Shieldmaster's house, which I did a few videos back. The link is in the description below if you guys want to check it out on the workshop, or if you want to use it in your own parks. Be my guest and take it and use it, guys. But as I said, I wanted to try and make this like some sort of food meeting hall-ish, with the shops here too. So the shops is kind of like placed randomly now, but I felt like they worked okay there as soon as I started adding scenery and such. As I said, I didn't really have any specific plans on which pieces or how I wanted to do it. I just knew the idea I had in mind, that I was gonna make it some sort of a feasting area or something like that. So the tables that I'm placing inside of the restaurant here will not be usable for the guest. It will mainly just be the outside, but we will have the guest interact with the scenery and all that stuff inside the restaurant here, which is in my case it's quite good. I don't mind having them walking outside and sit there, because then it feels like it's more packed and more active in some way, you know. So I'm super into that. Afterwards, I'm trying to put some supports and some brackets up here, as you can see. And after I did this, I felt like, okay, that was definitely what needed here. Just all these brackets, and kind of like give it some more supports and stuff for the roof itself. And I actually like this idea here with these sort of wooden brackets all the way around the entire restaurant here, and it does definitely gives such a nice feeling to it. and it just fills up the void. There is a lot of places on the wall here, and it also kind of like takes away some of the same pattern the planks have here as well. So I'm quite glad on how it ended up looking here with the small trim and detailing. I will go in and do the small detailing, the minor details later on in the video. But the first thing I wanted to do was mainly to have a view on how the restaurant would look on the inside. So that's kind of like what I'm doing in the first video here. I'm also trying to do here, as you can see, making this little arch, this little doorway, where I was gonna put some curtains in and kind of like have it feel like that behind this curtain there is like some sort of other room. If you have seen this TV show Vikings, they have this longhouse where they have this sort of on the back you have these sort of curtains, you have all this covering up where they go in the back and talk all kinds of stuff. That's kind of like what I had in mind here, but because I had the shops and the building wasn't super long, so I could make this sort of interior on the inside of here, I just went with this way and kind of like just had it like an entrance for the employees instead. And it goes well, it works well both ways, if I have to say it myself. So I wasn't entirely sure if I wanted to cover up the ceiling here, but I felt like that if I did it, then all the bad stuff you see on the roof here kind of like got hidden away, which works totally better. I wasn't super into that you could see all this messed up roof work here on the ground floor, so I cover it up. And after that, I kind of glad I did, because it made it look a little bit more woody too. And of course I make a little stairway, as I did on the little station as well, where the little ladder goes up to this little trap door ish. So that's kind of like what I'm doing so far in this video, guys. And as you can see here, I'm trying to covering it up, trying to make it look like an entrance for the employees here now. And I kind of like the vibe it does here, using the curtains and some of the drapes, and just color them white, so it gives like that little extra curtain effect. So I'm super happy how this turned out, and I kind of like the wood brackets, how I placed them. So it feels like it's kind of like chopped wood they placed here, kind of like to give it that pattern, or how you say. So the shops here, I wasn't actually sure how I wanted to detail those two, so it was just one piece at a time and see where it take me. And at the long haul, I'm super satisfied on the end result here. I thought it came out super cool looking, and even though it's mainly just wooden pieces, but it goes well with the surroundings here in the restaurant, and it definitely did something to the entire build itself. I want to ask you guys something. When the build is finished, it's under 4K too. So is this a build you guys are interested in having on the workshop? Please let me know, because in my opinion it feels like it's a little bit too clumsy for other people maybe to place it into their Viking areas or such, because it has this super clumsy feeling. It's very wide, right? It's very big, but let me know in the comments below, guys, if this has any interest for you guys, if this is a blueprint you guys want to have in your parks or not. Because right now I'm not feeling it putting on the workshop, but if you guys have any other opinions, let me know. Basically what I'm doing, guys, is just covering up the shop here, trying to make it, as I said, fittable for the entire Viking build here. And this build, or this video, is mainly just me fiddling in here, guys. As I've said, I'm traveling a lot these days to a lot of theme parks, hopefully also to get a lot of new ideas. And I'm also considering starting a new project here very soon, so you guys can have something new to look at, so it's not only my 3 main series I have got going on the channel for like a year now, which I kind of feel like some of you has burned out on, which makes total sense though. And as I said, I never knew that this park was gonna be so many episodes, but it is what it is now. And we will still continue. There's still 14 more to go of Dania, and then I should be done, guys. So yeah, let's cross fingers that I will actually keep the deadline this time. But mainly just doing the same thing here on this little arch as well, covering up the shop and the sides here, just make it look super cool. I felt like these Quint Dynasty pieces here were is super good for this purpose here of making Viking stuff. And man, I wish we had lots more of them, because they really do such a nice effect to it. But nevertheless, guys, it's a lot of the same stuff I do in this video, so it's a little bit difficult to kind of like explain the way, because as I say, I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'm adding some awnings, some trim work, basically what I've done the other videos as well. So instead of do a lot of talking here for the next 10 minutes, guys, I will give you a song or two, and then I will get back to you where I'm starting to do a little bit more interior stuff. So hope you will enjoy the speed build, guys, and the music, and I will get right back to you after that. Enjoy! Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the music. You've seen me do a little bit of interior stuff here in the meantime, and I was going with the same theme sort of as I did with the Hulker station, with like some of the shields, the dragon, some drapes hanging around, and I'm actually quite satisfied on the end result here. I really do love this little effect the light, the small candles does here, especially when you put them close to the window. It gives this sort of warm feeling when you look from it from the outside, that there's super warm inside. You will see that in the cinematics. I have some nighttime shots, but I really like it. The effect and the lighting they give, like the atmosphere, super into that. So, but nevertheless, what we're doing here is I'm making this sort of little last table in the longhouse here, where the chief is sitting, right, where the big guy is sitting with his bride or his sons or whatever, kind of like sits here where all the guys come and give gifts and whatnot there is to see here. So I'm making this little sort of chair here, nothing fancy, just a quick chair with the use of the brackets, and kind of like make it like the big chair here, and next to the small feast tables here you see on the left and right side, where I use the pot, place it a little bit below the table to give it that is kind of like the human size we want, and then some cups to make it feel like yeah, you know, their beer and what they're drinking here. So I think that was okay. Nothing fancy, but it did the job. And it was definitely a pain for me to make the pathing around this table over to the shops, but I did manage to do it. So the guest will not go into these sort of scenery bits here. It's super slim though, path-wise, but I think it works fine as it is. After I did a lot of the interior stuff, I went in and covered up the side here. Not doing so much stuff, just mainly just so when you see it from the outside, you don't see these bricks here. You just see wood instead, which I like a lot more than the usual stuff. So, and I must say, after I did this little thing here, covered up the planks, and you see it from the outside, it definitely looks way better. Of course, I'll add some shields and some hanging stuff to the wall, so it's not super plain. But for now, I'm kind of satisfied with the end result here. It's a big. I think the planks I've used here is actually. I think there's about 1,400 planks or so. The build itself is actually not that crazy piece count wise. I actually thought it would be, but I think if I would have went with the brackets or something like that, it would probably have been a lot worse piece count wise. So, but as you see here, I'm trying to make placing some doors, adding some stuff to the walls, just trying to fill out the areas that are plain and bare that could use a little bit of scenery all the way around. But I am really liking how this interior worked out, and I'm really hoping that a lot of people will, or the guests will, interact with this. I tried to place some myself, and it looked cool, but I can't wait to see it like very with a lot of people in. I don't know how many people I can have in, because I already have 400 walking around in the park, which probably also takes a little bit of the frame rate, but I just need to have a little bit of people walking around to have the atmosphere going, right? So, and as you can see here, I did this little trapdoor thing with the ladder going up, so it feels like that there's more to it when you get in here, which they're basically not. I'm not decorating anything on the top here, just covering up and making this little ladder, so it kind of gives the illusion of that there's still a lot more stuff going up, going on the first floor as well. So you guys know we need some bunting. It always does the job. It always makes it look super more alive. Definitely gives a better atmosphere to it. And as you guys also saw, I did a little bit of my own custom benches to the table here. As you saw, I used the big wooden log and then used the brackets kind of like to make it, give it some support, right? And I kind of like how it ended up looking with the different types of sitting areas, like a little bit of the barrels with the planks, and then I used just a normal wood pole and put some brackets on it, just to give it some variation, and it definitely did the job. Here I'm doing the other side. I actually thought I had it at this time, but then I was like, oh, I miss it. So I just do the same thing as I do on the other side here. Give it some of those Qin Dynasty pieces, and it definitely makes it look way better. The back side of the build is not gonna have a lot. It mainly has that little window you saw me do, and then I'm mainly just gonna cover it up with lots of stuff. I actually thought of making an extension to the build, but I didn't. I wasn't feeling it at the time, but it was actually the plan to kind of like have a staff building here too. But I feel like that on the right side here, where you see me do all the shrubs, you see this little path there is on the back. I might try to do a little market area there, marketplace with some Viking stands and stuff, and then place in the whirly rig, so we get that little last right here in this area. I think it goes very well with that. So it will mean we have the river rapids, the GCI coaster, the Viking ship, the boat ride station, and the whirly rig. So we will have some stuff going on over here, and also a big restaurant, right? So I'm definitely hoping that this area will be very, very active for the guests, because it is for sure my favorite area in the entire park so far, and it just keeps on getting better if you ask me. Going to all these theme parks definitely gives me a lot of inspiration and helps me through this park here of new ideas and whatnot. And I gotta say, the stations at Hansa Park was so inspiring. They had so many, what are they called, chandeliers. Also why you see me place some chandeliers in the Viking restaurant. I really felt like it was super cool. Maybe I'll try make my own as well, but that's for another day. Here I'm trying to add those fences here, those poles to the path, to kind of like get a view on how it would look. Because as you can see, I'm starting to finish off to this particular little first entrance area here with the Hunter's Market and the restaurant. And then on the right side here, if I would get the whirly rig, then I will get people to go different ways here and not just only focus on the shops or the coaster itself. So that's kind of like my go-to plan right now. Adding some benches, trying to make the pathing here look a little bit more alive with some lighting, some fencing, barrel, trash bins, and poles, all this stuff, just to make it look super, super welcoming and Viking-ish. So that's kind of like the goal I'm going for now. So, but guys, we are at the cinematics here now. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, remember to give it a like. It means a lot to me. And hope you all have an amazing day. And I will see you in my next video of Dania. Bye, guys.